Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. We have some rain. The far southeast, you're not going to get a whole lot, less than a ½ inch total probably. Ann Arbor, Detroit area, Monroe, and then you gradually increase it as you go back to the northwest and from a line from about Bay City to Mount Pleasant to Grand Rapids north and west, another at least inch of rainfall. So half the state gets a big help in the drought. The other half gets a little more than a tease. I guess I would call it somewhat useful rainfall, but not a drought buster. So here we start with this morning. We've had a round of rain, and some of you in the Detroit and Ann Arbor area might be saying, that wasn't much, and it wasn't. So there will be breaks in this rainfall. So even though maybe your radar app or maybe what you're anticipating as a forecast, you feel like it's going to be 2 more days of rain, it's going to be off and off. Pamela Todoroff, good report, says it's pretty wet in Oakland County. Also what I find in situations like this, I find that when we have been in a significant dry period, like we really haven't had, in some places we really haven't had a decent rain since almost mid-July. When you get a 1/4 inch of rain, it feels like a lot. But then if you go out and look at the rain gauge or you dig down in the soil, you go, oh, I guess it really wasn't a whole lot. So I think we have some of that going on also right now. Let's go into the radar forecast, and you'll see what I'm talking about on waves of rainfall coming. So here's our wave moving out maybe for the evening hours and just some sporadic spotty showers. And then overnight, the next solid area of rain develops. This is 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning. So that is developing, and this is 7 in the morning. So northwest half of lower, a good solid soaker overnight. Southeast half, a sporadic shower. And then as we go through tomorrow, the southeast half could stay in the warm sector, will be in the warm sector, could be fairly dry, could be amazingly quite warm, well into the 70s. Yes, well into the 70s, when we should have a high of about 48 to 50 degrees as the 30-year average. Then we go to Tuesday night, and the rains start to translate into the southeast, but they become more just along a cold front. So that's not a steady overnight type rain. That's a 1 or 2 hour type rain. And by the time we get to Wednesday morning, it's pretty much all done. Here's what the human beings at the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center say on total rainfall. So they take all the models and all the data, and then they turn it into a human-made forecast, and it works really well. And a lot of times it matches up with many of the best models. And what they feel is, like, from Saginaw and Flint and Lansing, south and east, it's less than a ½ inch. And then from Kalamazoo to Alma to Midland and Bay City, north and west, it's more than an inch. And in some areas like around Big Rapids and Muskegon and Cadillac, it's maybe approaching 2 inches of rainfall. But regardless, it's a start. We don't want to go into winter dry, as I've said, for our evergreens and our pine trees in our yards. Now, here's a longer term. So here's our rain comes through. Wednesday we're dry. Thursday we're dry. Friday looks like a great day. Maybe what we call a backdoor cold front coming down Friday. That's when it comes down from the northeast, usually very quiet, but it can bring a northeast wind and cool us down, but it only lasts for a short time period. Then on Saturday, we're back to a south wind. Next rain, not until next Sunday. So we're in a drier pattern, but not as dry as what we have been. Now we're out to November 12th, the following week, and the storm track's still way to our north. We get into the warm sector of a storm again, and maybe another one. But we do note that the cold air is building pretty close. It's in Canada. It's by mid-November. It's in Minnesota. It's in the Dakotas. It's in the UP maybe. And so at some point in the second half of November, I believe that we're going to get our first shot of wintry cold, and it could be cold enough then for snow. Here's again a little closer look. So here's our rain showers tonight, and then tomorrow night, and like I said, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday. If you're trying to get something done this week outside, Wednesday through Saturday should be a real good time for it. Temperatures, 60s again today across lower Michigan, 50s in the UP. This is 15 degrees warmer than normal. Tomorrow in the 70s, 75-ish, Ann Arbor and Detroit and Jackson, 73 Lansing, 72 Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, Grand Rapids, almost 70 in Traverse City. Then Wednesday in the low 50s, still warmer than normal. Thursday in the mid-50s, Friday in the mid-50s, Saturday, Sunday back to the 60s, Monday in the 60s, Tuesday, 10 days out. So you see that even though the cold air is building to the northwest, it's not coming here for probably the next 10 days. After that, I would say all bets are off, and I think you better be prepared for some hard freezes. These are low temperatures. Tomorrow morning in the 60s to start. Remember, we should not even hit 50 in most places in the afternoon, but we're going to start in the 60s. Low on Wednesday, 50. Maybe a light frost on Thursday, nothing Friday. Maybe a freeze in the north, a light frost in the south on Saturday, nothing Sunday or Monday. So we're still waiting for a hard freeze to hit most of southern lower Michigan. So the story is we get periods of rain, not all day rain, so off and on a couple of 6-hour periods at any one spot. Today, that's winding down. Tonight, especially northwest half of lower Michigan. Tomorrow night also. So don't anticipate just a solid rain. And in the southeast, anticipate that you're still fairly dry by the time it's all said and done. And still don't anticipate a harsh flip over to winter. I'm guessing, yes, you heard me say that, I'm guessing that a first taste of winter will come in the second half of November. I don't know that that's going to last. It's been a real typical pattern in the last decade. A snowstorm sometime in November, and then it lets up. Doesn't rebound to the 50s and 60s in December, but rebounds to 40s and the snow melts and whatnot. So, hey, there you go. That's the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great Monday. Bye.